Listen. You can be honest with me. I get it all the time. Anyway, I'll just be brief and explain. My name is Shabar Yasharala. That means broken spirit in Hebrew. And like I said, I could trace my heritage all the way back to the tribe of Gad, the original natives of this land. What do you know about the Bible? What's your name? Sydney, what do you know about the Bible? You say the Bible's not a religious book. According to James 1:7, the Bible, James 1:7 describes religion. There's no such thing. They're all man-made. What do you know about the Bible?
I don't get into all that.
Well, you know why? It's very important that you do. You know you're my fraternal twin sister according to the Bible? You do? So, I thought you said you didn't know.
I don't know.
All right. So, okay, slow down. He's only 3. Slow down. How old is your child?
3.
Yeah, they're only 3, so I know you have to be at least 6 or 7. Right, so they can't handle all of that. Just go slow. According to the book of Deuteronomy, it says the nation that will put the Hebrews back into slavery would be swift as the eagle flyeth. What's on the back of your money? The eagle, right? In the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, there's 2 fraternal twins, Esau and Jacob. I got a slight stutter because I got nerve damage in my head, and I'll tell you why. I could see things since I was 13 years old, so I left and went to the military running from those things. My forefathers was Crazy Horse and all of them, okay? And so you go to Songs of Solomon, and he says, I am black but comely. You go to Acts 13:1, it said the prophets and the teacher was called Niger. Or what you have direct slang or connotation, the word nigger. All right, so I could see at the age of 8, by the age of 13, I had enough and said I'm going to the military running from those things. So in 1998, a burst of light into my body. 2006, he took me to hell and back. 2008, he showed me a vision concerning this place. There are women in the Bible that can see future events. Deborah, Anna, Miriam. My forefather Gad was a seer. So April 17, 2008, he shook my whole house, the one that they called Jesus Christ. He said, enough is enough. I still didn't want to hear it, so I put the pillow over my head. So in about 15 minutes of my sleep, I was awakened. And I was transformed from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. I was made new. And I was descending down into a building. That building had a window went about 60 feet across. And I could see people walking every day through that window. So it was the days of Noah. And he began to speak. He said, enough is enough. I walked past a brown table that had white flowers on it. Got a slight stutter, I tell you why, the nerve damage. And he began to speak. He said, enough is enough. That's when I looked up. He said, Chicago will be the first to fall. I saw a missile and it obliterated Chicago. Do you know what's happening every day in Chicago? The crime, the murder, right? They call it Chirac because it's worse than Iraq. Not only that, when your foreparents came here, my fraternal brothers and sisters, one of the places they brought religion was to Chicago. The Bible defines religion according to James 1:7, as I stated. There's no such thing. He came back years later and said Jamestown, Virginia will be the last standing. You look like you're in college, maybe. I know you know what happened at Jamestown, Virginia. First colonies? Pilgrims? No? Settlers? Pilgrims? Plymouth Rock? Okay, all right, so you don't know. All right, so the first settlers, when they came, they docked at Jamestown, Virginia, and started slaughtering my tribe, the tribe of Gad, to this place after Columbus. Hence, this place is called what? Columbus, after Christopher Columbus. All right, that's Isaiah 43:6, and that's because you've held the children of Israel and refused to let them go. We are the biblical descendants. Columbus did not discover anything. My tribe, the tribe of Gad, the northern kingdom, we were already here, okay? They just murdered us to oblivion. I got a slight stutter because about 10 months ago, they tried to kill me on 85, approximately 100 to 150 miles per hour, me and my son.
I thought you would come on.
In a PT Cruiser, a bright light slowed the car and entered the car and slowed the impact down. The one they called Jesus Christ. Michael the Archangel was present that day. I've seen him. That was the second time. And I've seen the one they call Jesus Christ. He looks like Lamont Sanford with a white fro. Are you familiar with Sanford and Son? Oh, Red Fox? No, nobody. Junkyard? No, okay. Well, if you have time, look up Lamont Sanford from Sanford and Son. And the book of Revelation describes Christ. And the book of Daniel describes Christ and his Father again. I've heard the voice of the one they call God, but I've never seen his face. He's told me he's getting ready to kill a lot of people. He said, I know you know the story of Noah. He only saved 8 people after the flood. He said he's getting ready to kill a lot of people. Was what's getting ready to happen, all right? So You ever heard the term that my tribe, the native chant over here, hiya, 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 the Indians, so-called Indians, because that is God's name in the Hebrew. Ahiah, short Ahiah. His son's name is Sheshaiah in the Hebrew. He didn't choose Moses this time. He chose a female from the tribe of Gad. Genesis 49:19. You're wondering why they're bombing Yemen? Because when we're going to enter right there at the Egyptian Sea this time instead of the Red Sea. So they're trying to obliterate Yemen from off the face of the earth. Okay? So I'm not Muslim. I'm from the tribe of Gad. I'm Hebrew. You are Hebrew too, because guess what? The one they called Jesus Christ came to see me about 2 weeks ago. And he said, you got about 5 months. So what's going on in the east over there is coming to the west. That's Matthew. As lightning strikes from the east to west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. He stood right outside my house, just like I'm standing here talking to you, okay? So according to the book of Amos 9, a remnant of your tribe is going to make it out of here when the bombs drop, okay? I've seen everything from Hurricane Irma to what's happening now. So what I do is honest. So you have to repent. What's your name again? Sydney. I have a little bit of nerve damage. I'm having trouble remembering. Like I told you, you have to repent and come to the Bible. You know, you celebrate Christmas, Sydney?
Yeah.
Well, Jeremiah, the 10th chapter tells you they were putting up Christmas trees before Christ was even born. All right? That's not his birthday. Luke, the 2nd chapter tells you he was born during the harvest. So it's all wrong. All of that stuff is pagan. Last thing he showed me about Chicago, his hand was stretched out over Chicago, the shadow of death, okay? I walked through the valley of the shadow of death. All right, his hand was stretched out on Chicago, and we were taken out of here in white when the bombs dropped, okay? That's Isaiah, the 11th chapter. So, that being said, do you understand everything I just said?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to test you. You say you understand, you were listening. What city did the Most High say they were going to bomb first? I gave you 2 cities, the first and the last. That's all I know. I don't know what's in between or anything like that. What was the first one they're going to bomb?
I can't remember.
All right, Sydney, Chicago. They're going to bomb Chicago first, all right?
Yeah, Chicago.
I've seen everything. I told you, I've seen everything that's getting ready to happen. The last place they're going to bomb is Chicago. Jamestown, Virginia. So I deal with GOCC. I've gained them almost 50-something thousand followers on YouTube. But I don't deal with them like that because they got a problem with me because the Most High chose a woman. There are women in the Bible that can see future events. Deborah, Anna, Miriam, Hilda. It's about 8 of them. But like I said, my forefather Gad was a seer. But they got to get with it or get ready to perish. And I'm going to test you one more time because I'm almost done. See if you're really paying attention again. What city were they going to bomb first?
Chicago.
All right, Sydney, what was the last place they're going to bomb?
Virginia.
Sydney, give me your hand. You're paying attention. Today is your day. You got to repent and come back to the Bible. My life was almost taken from me 8 times, Sydney. And just recently, I'm going to show you a picture here, a screenshot in my phone, and I'm done. They stood outside my house, the government, and fired 3 shots at my window. And the Most High stopped the bullets. That's like a 9mm casing right there. And they tried to kill me. How do I know this? Because they let me know that a white FBI man was outside of my house. So blessed are the readers and the hearers of his word. But most of all, the doers of his word. Sydney, I'm Shabar Yasharala. Chicago will be the first of all. Jamestown, Virginia, the last standing. Got about 5 months. Did you not see the moon out at 10 o'clock? The moon is out at 10 o'clock. I have a video on that, all right? You got to watch for these things. That's the book of Amos. So I just wanted to let you know, I'm not here to scare you, but I bet you I scared you just then. But that's my job. That's what I do. I prophesy. I'm a prophet. Okay, bless you.